9. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the
Well, they say everything's bigger in Texas. Well, we're about to find that out live here on Pizza Race TV as we're about to present to you the GOAT Racing League Race City Sports Memorabilia Truck Series at the Fort Worth, Texas Motor Speedway here on Pizza Race TV. Hello, everyone. I am the Crusader Chris Stroud, joining you guys here today So we get ready for the action on the call and on the road today. Time to take a look at our starting lineup here on the pole. In the number 30, it'll be Brian V. Macklin. This time started out with the outside being the 19 of Tyler Dalton. In row number 2, it will be E.J. Oregon, the 41, the outside, and the number 12, Aaron Action Jackson. Row number 3 is Mike Kelly, in the number 6, the outside, and the 43, that will be Samuel Harrell. Row number 4 is Anthony M. Calatani, the Talking Giants vs. World 84, the outside, and the number 93, it is Bud Shear. Row number 5 is John Hickman Jr. in the 60, the outside, it will, or the 80, in the 60 up in the outside, then will be Jose Gonzalez, in the 26. Row number 6 is going to be Chad Coleman in the 5, the outside, and the 87, that will be Steve Ritter. Row number 7 is Jeff Ramsdale in the 97, the outside, and the 01 is Cody Sturgill. Row number 8 is Casey Duncan, 71, the outside, and the 83 is John McMillan Jr. Row number 9 is going to be the 48 of Randy Coaching, the outside, and the number 7, Scott Simley. Row number 10 is the 25, Ernest King, the outside, and the 24, Coda DeForge. Row number 11 is going to be Maurice Burnett. The 80 outside is the 11 of Ron Holyfield. Row number 12 is going to be the 44 Christoph Hall, the outside, and the 02 is Shannon Wood. Row number 13 is going to be Dijon Monte, and the 07 the outside, and the 75 the Wild Man, Alan Wild. Row number 14 will be Ryan D. Cook in the 10 the outside, and the 31 David Pencil Scott. Row number 15 will be Russell Ottaway in the 89 the outside, and the 45 Joseph Atchison. Row number 16 is Charles Van Schaik in the 23 the outside, and the 38 John McMillan Sr. Row number 17 is going to be the 39 of Dusty Burkhardt the outside, and the number 18 it's Philip Schmitz. And then in the row 18 is going to be Jerry Livingston. And the 96 outside of the 36 is Richard Crane. Our final starts today. And the 56, it is Gary Clark. 110 laps to the distance here in Texas Motor Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, in Fort Worth, Texas. We're about to get down to business here today. Ernest King says, have a great show. Hopefully better result this week. Ernest, that's on you there, sir. You best figure out how to get it done, my friend. No instant repairs today. 2 green, white checkered, 75% fuel, 3 extra sets of tires for these drivers. 22 laps to stage 1. 55 to stage 2. 55 laps to go for stage 3. Race fans, as we bring them right around the way and off the corners here of turn number 3 and 4. It is time to bring the hammer down here in Fort Worth, ladies and gentlemen. Let the action commence. Bring on the speed, bring on the power. Green flag is out in Texas Motor Speedway. So far, so good. Down the back stretch, already out of the gate. Backlund going to the bottom, blocking Orrick from the run. Orrick immediately trying to get a jump on the inside, looking for the opening there on the 30. He's going to use the draft of speed, use the fresh set tires to make a run for it. No gives, no display here. All raw speed and cunning from the drivers on the playing field here. The one thing we always talk about here is how crazy these restarts can get at Texas, and then that little short run they get, it's a big burst of speed and a lot of power these drivers face up against. But at the same token, what they really face up against is the overwhelming threat, the overlooming issue of how long will the tires last and how long can these trucks last before they start to wear and tear and become more difficult to deal with. Treacherous is the best way to put it on this place here. 1 and 2, extremely difficult to deal with. Pressure will always be on that bottom lane. For 3 and 4 though, you got a lot of run there and a lot of open space to run it out, but corner 4 is the one turn you got to really watch out. Tight exit off and an extremely difficult area to deal with. Those that qualified well right now seem to be currently manipulating and mastering the rounds of the track, knowing where they're at and knowing what their spots are. Battle coming through the board here. Cody DeForge, the 24 going head to head to Christoph Hall, the number 44 here. Both drivers side by side through 3 and 4, but it is Hall who shifts it in between, momentum swaying towards his route as he now forces Ron Holyfield to go head to head in the Hardeeville 111. The RCSM, number 24 of DeForge. DeForge right now currently feeling the pressure. A lot of Chevrolets in this pack today here. The Toyotas right now way back in the field on most of the 4th, up on the front. So there is no room for error here. You've got to make your moves and make your mark as quick as possible. Anthony M. Calatani well aware of that. I know those TG guys versus the world are here, so say it with me now. It's Talkie Giants versus the world time. Here coming off corner number 2. He's got to run, fight it out with a man that knows how to bring the action more than will.i.am and Britney Spears does. That is Aaron Axe Jackson, the 12 Toyota Tundra driver. He's currently right now giving himself a little bit of a renaissance here this season. After so much trouble there from the first couple races back in the Next Gen Cup Series, and then even more so often than not, the struggling Truck Series, it seems as though Jackson has finally started to put 2 and 2 together. Brian V. Macklin immediately taking a bit of a back seat here as he's currently having to deal with the pressure from E.J. Orrick and what now the race leader is in Tyler Dalton. Ryan Spence says, go Sammy in the 43. Some love down there to the number 43 driver, Samuel Harrell. Right now, Sammy currently hanging around the 11th spot here. There he is, the old Guns N' Roses 43 machine. Keeping it clean for the most part. If we can keep it clean, I'm pretty surprised. 37 drivers here on the track now, 36 actually racing. So far, it's been a pretty clean start. Seems as though these trucks may have learned their lesson, may have learned not to get too crazy or too out of shape here. As I say that, there is some slight damage on that 71 of Casey Duncan. The machine is a little bit hurt on the side of the truck. The Surf Pro machine trying to probably stay out of trouble a little bit and keep his momentum out around the track. Dejan Monte right now currently laying low in the back of the pack. We know he's been able to make some runs to the fronts before. Kind of surprised right now. He's kind of as far back as he is, kind of laying low. Maybe just trying to avoid contact or any situations for now, but right now anyway, he's got some time to make up and a lot of ground he needs to bring back. We're 1/10 or 1/11 of the way there. Now 1/10 coming up this time on by. And Tyler Dalton just leads the field in. No room for error though. One small mistake and he'll cost himself big time here. Out on the Wild Man, Wild in the 75 Commander machine staying right below, back behind Charles Van Schuyck. In the fast lane, number 23. Still door dashing up there as he currently looks to try to charge up on the inside here, looking for some runs there on the corners. Field double in, side by side right now. This is a good drive off, but a very tricky little turn here off turn 4, especially on some burnt heads on those tires. Those right sides and the right front especially have got to be kicked up a bit and really hurt just a little bit more now, knowing they're currently fighting the pressure and fighting everything underneath themselves. There are 3 double files, some side by side again here. And again, this is what we talk about constantly, is the overall treacherousness and the pain and endurance these drivers face on a track like this. Again, maybe 110 laps, but you gotta look at it this way, and that's the same way I always say, when you run this track, there is not any room for mistakes. There is not any room for letting your truck or your car get loose. You gotta know early on, be patient, be perseverant, but at the same time, qualify well and hope you can stay in the front before somebody comes and gets you. It happens so more often than not. It's just not an easy track to make any legitimate moves or passes on, in my opinion, and that's what makes it so hard. And these drivers currently still fighting for all that pressure and all that momentum. As we work their way back up to the front, Calatani makes a move ahead of Jackson. He's now past top 5. He's in the 4th spot. DJ Oric, even though he had a good run earlier, slowing his pace. The pace starting to thicken and maybe losing a little bit of grip and control. Knows that he had used up probably too much. Here on board with the A-Shock team here of Chad Coleman, as the field right now works their way through. Little problems down there, looks like for Ryan D. Cook, and there's definitely problems indeed. He's in the grassy plains down there on the front straightaway. Little snap off on that side of the truck there. Looks like he may have suffered some damage there, unfortunately, coming off turn number 4 as well. Take a look at the P-Team Racing TV instant replay presented by Race City Sports Memorabilia. Bam! Right there off turn number 4. Just took a huge hit and a good little whack, and that's it. The Line Outdoors Silverado gets, or Ford F-150, excuse me, gets whacked off to the side and thrown on around, and a very tough break there for that 10 cam. It's got to be a bit frustrating as a driver to have to go through that and then have to find a way to get back into it, but man, there's one thing we've always seen with these Go Racing League drivers is they have no quit and no give. They'll still come out and try to put on a fight. EJ Oric now looking to try to immense the pace and immense the fight. He's got some help from Coleman as well, trying to draft him off. You can see though the rear end picking out a little bit more on Jackson and how tight he's having to turn that truck in. Again, this is what we talk about. The more you burn that right front up, the more you then turn in the truck, because again, your truck has no grip, it has no rhythm to steer and clear the drive around. That's what makes this so difficult, especially with a track like Texas, where you get loose, especially the most in 1 and 2, and then tight in 3 and 4. You really need all the steering ratio and the steering you can get just to get these things to take a bite and take a chance at it. Back on board here with John Higman Jr. right now. Bobby Skinner comes on board. There's the Talking Giants versus the World comments I was looking for. I kind of started without you guys, though. Your boy's already in fourth in this case here. Speaking of a boy that we know too well here, Bud Shear in that 93, man. You want to talk about a guy that has not been living up to expectations. And again, I am naming no disrespect to Shear. This is more of a compliment, apparently unlike what Kyle Petty said about Ryan Blaney. But Shear, man, I tell you, this guy, he has some serious talent, some serious drive within him. But this last couple of races, these 2 seasons, I have feeling like he has lost a lot of it. He just needs to get that confidence back in him. He's got multiple wins here on the show, but none so far this season. And has been kind of laying low and more in trouble often than not. So I'm hoping start really seeing the true colors and the big side that Shearer has, but honestly right now it's been mainly the Dalton McCacklin show. And don't get me wrong, good Mac attack versus Dalton, I'll take any day of the week, but I mean, I still love seeing those guys that we know can put up numbers and put on a fight and bring it to the house as the battle goes on between Higman Jr. and Aaron X. Jackson for the final spots here in stage 1. Tyler Dalton one more time around after this go, and he's going to have himself a stage win. Backlund trying to catch up to him, but the Navy Brad not quite living up to the 7,500 expectations. And old Dalton punches the loud pedal down and gives it a good pedal to the metal to end stage 1. And it looks like some troubles down there. John Higman Jr. Whoa, there is some troubles down there. Major troubles. The 60 had a great battle there between him and quite a few other drivers. And now that truck is stuck on the side of the track here. He'll get it refired, but there is damage on the track. And that is damage on the truck for sure. Took a good smack in the wall protection. We'll go to the Pizza Race TV instant replay to find out what happened here. But looked like everything was going pretty good here until this happened. Let's take a look at it. Oh, right there. There you go. You see it. So that's how tight it is off those corners I talked about earlier. That's actually what brought the caution out. It wasn't the stage. It was that little hit right there. Flagman saw and had to end the stage quick and get Higman Jr. out of that there. That was a massive little hit. One more look at it from our chopper cam. Watch Jackson. See how he closes off that gap. Then watch Higman Jr. kind of coming off just a little bit. Jackson thinks he's cleared so he can keep it turned in, keep his speed up, and avoid that wall. And instead, he doesn't avoid the wall. He sends Higman to the wall. What a tough break there. And Higman Jr. again knows he does not have any instant repairs to his name, but it looks like he's not too happy with somebody down there. Or he's going to pit. Oh, he's going to pit row. There he goes. Oh, he's rushed. He's actually rushed. That's going to be a speeding penalty right there. You're not supposed to go that fast there, 60. Oh, he's running into people. What is he doing? The 48 of Randy Coaching. Well, honestly, he was just an innocent bystander and all that. And he just got clobbered there by John Higman Jr. I can understand the frustrations there for that 60, but man, there's one thing you just can't do. It's try to intervene anybody else in that situation. I hope that was just a spotter issue there and not him just getting crazy in the throttle, but that definitely may need a little bit of a talking to after this race. I don't know about that one. From pit road and the exit, Brian V. Macklin wins the race out. The back attack will be back in the SPAC. Anthony M. Calatani going to put himself right in the cups, and EJ Orrick going to be, looks like he's going to be not only second out, but he's also now going to be in the second spot. Calatani is apparently now the leader. I think Macklin might have had a speeding penalty down there, and I think he may be getting sent to the outhouse for that one. Well, he's going to have a murderer's row of drivers that have to work through, I tell you that right now, but I don't think that was what he meant to do. James Skinner, Talking Giants versus the World. The TGs versus the World have come to life, ladies and gentlemen. I told you they were coming here soon enough. Whenever you see that truck on the track, I always warn you, you will have a lot of fans coming on board. Like, if you think Chase Elliott fans are crazy, man, these Talking Giants versus the World fans, they love this guy. And honestly, nothing wrong with that. This guy is a good driver and definitely a lot of fun to watch. I'll give him that any day of the week. So right now, currently from top 10 in this situation, Scott Simley, race winner in the Next Gen Cup Series just a couple of weeks ago. He'll be in the top 10 here. James, you know, goes well. I'm not saying that last part in there. But nevertheless, it's pretty much the World with an extra adverb in there. Steve Ritter in the 87, currently going to be in 9th. Charles Van Schaik now looking to try to get his first win of the Truck Series campaign. He has 2 wins in Next Gen Cup Series right now. Mike Kelly looking for his first and then 6th, so close so many times. Finds himself in the worst possible predicaments here. The TSN service looking to try and change that today. Tyler Dalton, I mean, what can you say about this cat, man? He's already got I believe he got the Next Gen Cup Series Daytona opener win. He almost had a chance in the Truck Series one. Fell a little short and takes control of that, but nevertheless, still trying to fight it out with the rest of the field. Butcher in 5th. We'll see if he can finally start putting things together here. The RCSM trying to warm the tires up. He's ready to go. Jose Gonzalez, he's got a win already. I believe he got that one not too long ago here on the show, about 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, whichever it may be. Gonzalez, definitely a cat you got to keep your eye on. He's one tough hombre. Chad Coleman, I mean, this guy right here, last season in that Next Gen Cup Series, absolutely tore that season a new one in the playoffs, winning most of those races and forcing everybody to make a choice on that. EJ Orrick, the 41, winning the first race of the Truck Series this season. Looking to try to duke it out with the man that he got entangled with there off turn 2 on the final lap. And in the end, Calatani, Martinsville's race winner. He's looking to try and pull off a big win on an extremely difficult track. Race fans, we're getting ready for stage number 2. That is your top 10 and a little storyline behind all we've got in mind. Justin Bennick says TG versus the World. Bennick, good to have you on board. If anyone is new to the channel here as well on the broadcast, be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook and or YouTube. Subscribe there for more great content. If you're watching on YouTube from the replay end, thanks so much for tuning in as well. And for those that are new as well, may as well share the stream around, share it around for friends and family to see. This could get a little while. Andrew Christopher has joined us as well. We've got some love for the TG boys in the 84. It's time to see what he can do. Green flag is out. Stage number 2, begin. Stage 2 going to lap 55 from there on out. It's race or do or die for them. EJ Orrick gets a little opening on the inside on Calatani. Calatani getting a jump to the outside. He tried to hold Orrick off. Looked like Orrick may have been punting him up a little bit in the back. Calatani slightly tight. Got to try to straighten her out off turn 4. Drives in front of Coleman. Coleman getting blocked. The Adrenaline Shock 5, I guarantee I'm going to appreciate that one very much. There is a good news to it. They're throwing Tyler Dalton the outside, but Dalton, well, he's a little bit impatient. Here comes the 19. Dalton with an extremely big run on that outside. He got a big push up and got it straight ahead. As EJ Orrick falls back 3 wide, they're coming from 3 and 4. Coleman clears the gap. Cleared from the gap and cleared in the middle, but that left Simley and Gonzalez all the room they wanted. Now Mike Kelly and EJ Orrick going at it here as Calatani and Simley battle one another for position supremacy at its best. Both drivers right now keeping it clean. No fenders scrunched together just yet. Yellow is out though. Caution is out on the track. Gotta. Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Well, I was not expecting that. Massive, massive wreck on the backstretch. I'm seeing 8 or 10 drivers out there getting into this one. Sammy Harrell, one of them. Ryan V. Macklin, one of them. Ryan D. Cook. 24 there. Cody DeForge. Oh my word. And I'm not talking a word up. I mean, oh my word, what a massive hit. Gotta go up front here. Let's see if we can get a camera on that, guys. Good lord. Try to see if we get a look at that on the replay. I don't even know where that began at. We do know it started up front somewhere. There's Russell Ottaway. There's Jerry Livingston. Everyone else. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ryan D. Cook just getting absolutely destroyed in that one. Got a huge, huge hit. Suffered in that. Macklin is out of the race, by the way. He has left the building, and I don't blame him. I think we might have an idea of what happened here, so we'll go to the replay here. Here's a 4 wide. There's Monte. There it goes. There's the wreck. And it looks like it starts kind of in the back here. They see the 48 gets into it too. He got tangled in there. Monte looks like he's done too. So that was where a good chunk of it had happened. Let's take one last look at it. I think we got a blimp cam on that. Yeah, we do. Here we go. Okay, so they're wrecking in front. Look, DeForce looked like he just went right up into Livingston. Didn't even know where he was at. And then, hang on. Goodbye, and see you on around. Oh my goodness, look at the 71. Casey Duncan, man. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Just an absolute pile up on the backstretch. Oh my goodness. And Dejan Monte has officially confirmed he is done and out of this race, folks. And a lot of drivers leaving the building immediately after that. Brian V. Macklin, first one out on the scene. He is okay, but definitely not a happy camper. 2 wins in a race. 2 wins so far this season, and the only one to go back-to-back. And he's not going to be able to go triplicate today. He is done. So we have lost right now so far John Hickman Jr., Joseph Atchison, Gary Clark is not in this one. Randy Coaching is in pit road trying to get damage fixed up. Brian V. Macklin is out for sure. Russell Ottaway, David Pencil Scott trying to see if they can get back in. DJ Monte and Jerry Livingston are out. They are done. Casey Duncan, Ryan D. Cook in pit road. They're fixing stuff up right now. That is where we lie, and there is some of the damage left behind on these trucks. Oh my gosh. And the field up front right now, probably just thankful they were not caught up in that one. Bobby Skinner thinking what all of us was thinking, saying what the, and I'm not, they had nothing else at the end, guys. James Skinner says crash and derby. Agent Christopher says hope everyone's okay. I'm getting word on the radio and that everyone is okay involved in the initial contact and the bad wreck there. But I can tell you there are some bruised egos and a lot of pride that was thrown out the window. Probably a little bit more frustration in there too. So I wouldn't be too surprised on that. You see Jackson, you can see Harrell down there. So I'm sorry to the Harrell camp there, but it looks like he's got some damage he's going to need to try to get repaired up. He's got time, but he's going to have a lot of work to do. This is our second caution of the day, and if you technically consider it, it technically is 2 cautions total. Alright, race fans, here we go. Coming off turn number 4, lead him down back to the green flag race start zone. Time to bring the Race City Sports Memorabilia Truck Series back to life. You may have noticed we lost a lot of drivers in that one. I would presume there is going to be a little bit of a talking to for some guys. Down across the back straightaway here, right off the gate here, Steve Ritter in the number 87, down on the inside, Cup C and Talking Giants versus the World 84. Galantani trying to just hang in there, but again, Texas is no easy task in that outside line, and 3 and 4 is like no man's land to me. It's a dead zone. You get a little bit of a chance or a break in 1 and 2 if you can get the outside line to work, but the bottom lane usually is what kicks the most and gives you the most grip. That seems to be where most of the drivers are kind of aiming towards right now. That's where the trouble seems to be lasting at. Jeff Ramsdell, the 97, looking for a little DuPont. Machine speed up to par and up to pace. John McMillan Jr., first time we've seen him really bring the speed out here in that ball parts 83 today. And we have seen some moments of brilliance from him in that 83 camp, but this is the first time, I think, in this race that we've really seen him put some power up on the track. Climbing it back up to the roads and back into the drive here. Mike Kelly and Tyler Dalton also currently just trying to hang down and make their best of their situation. Dalton, your race leader. Kelly right behind him, trying to catch up with it. Philip Schmitz, the 18, and the 11 of Ron Holyfield, currently right behind the 8 of Maurice Burnett and Shannon Wood, the 02, with Chad Coleman falling further and further from Grace. All drivers right now, just at this point, I would say probably just trying to keep a little bit of a pace, trying to keep a little bit of a steady drive. Maybe trying to watch out for some of the turns, maybe watch for some of the drivers here. I think, in my opinion, honestly, what they really got to keep a close eye on is just making sure they don't burn that right front of, and then just let the truck kind of ease into the turns. Again, it's so difficult, though, to control that narrative, control that mindset, because, again, you just want to push it as hard as you can. When you see that kind of speed right there, that kind of power like Bud Shear's throwing right there, going for two here, it's so easy to just get a little bit conservative and a little bit over the hedge. Bud Shear right now has crossed up 2, double trouble. The 93 has taken 2 for the price of 1. Running them back down to the across the field here, off the 3 wide salute from turn number 2. Cody Sturgill, the 01, lined up between as the number 26, Jose Gonzalez, trying to get out of that mess and get back to the bottom. And he gets crossed up by Sturgill there. Ernest King and EJ Ork moving their way across. Some great side-by-side battling through so far. Some epic moves through the turns and some very tough cornered edge runs. No driver is safe. Casey Duncan right now in pit row, coming out after the damage sustained there from the wreck. I put him a full 10 laps down in this race, and I guarantee you frustration is probably not even a word you can use for it. Up ahead, Sturgill right now jumps ahead of EJ Ork. Meanwhile, right in the pack, we see it is Gonzalez, it is Wood, it is Shear and Burnett. Burnett trying to tighten the inside lineup, 3 wide again off. Gonzalez going to ride it up a little bit. Speed advantage though goes to Gonzalez, able to manipulate the truck around just a little bit more. Again, if you work that outside up, and then you can sharply cut that corner down, it actually gives you just a little bit more speed. We talk about it a lot at Atlanta Speedway, and the way it runs as a plate track there, how crazy and how difficult it can be just to kind of keep speed up and keep momentum on a high note. I mean, it's very, very tough to land it, but they can certainly do it. Cody Kramer says Team 43 for life. Well, I think we might need to start rubbing that rabbit's foot right now, because Sammy Morrell is a little bit back in the field, and he has some damage he sustained in that wreck that was caused earlier on. But it looks like the front of the nose actually looks pretty cleaned up. Again, it's just a bit of damage. The Guns N' Roses 43 still has maintained his draw bind at least. He's not too far in the back. He's only in the 19th spot. Has a chance here. But he needs that stage break to come, and he needs to start making some moves here. Dialed on, man, right now, that 19, keeping it further away from Mike Kelly and just trying to make sure that he keeps him up to par and up to pace with what he's up to. Looking to try to control the drive and can try to configure himself into a flurry of offense. Kelly trying to catch up to him there and get some runs going for him, but no give, nothing there. I'm gonna try not to get the Prairie Air 01 any troubles here, because I've already given Sturgill enough problems as it is, just trying to talk good about him on the broadcast. So I'm just gonna let Sturgill run this one out, and I'm gonna try to keep my mouth shut about him doing what his season's been like. You can probably go back and watch my broadcast, so and you can say what I'm talking about. As for Bud Shearer, though, I've already kind of given him a little bit of a shot too, and I already kind of said about my piece there with him. But here's a guy that earlier on in the comments section said like he's hoping to catch a break today, and that's Ernest King in that 25 Silverado Wrangler machine. Here's a guy that really hasn't been able to really showcase much of what he's been able to accomplish or really catch any breaks in his mind. Do the massive amount of wrecks and then no situations, but also I think that little move right there is probably what kind of helps get him trust in to some certain problems there. Got a little bit loose off of turn 2, but that's good to see. At least the rear end is picking out a bit on him. The one thing you do not want with these trucks is a tight truck. You want it loose, you want to keep it stable, but you want to have some grip, and you want to have a little bit more give to it. And that's exactly what he's getting right now. He's looking on, but right now the field is starting to diminish its returns in terms of passes and corners, because again, it's getting harder and harder to get to doing them. Side by side now, entering through turn number 3 and 4. EJ Orrick crossed off from Holyfield, and he goes way wide off the exit. You know that's a bad move in 3 and 4. We talked about it earlier. Here comes the number 26, Jose Gonzalez. Hey, Gonzalez. Managing his control, managing his speed. Every drive right now, definitely making it work and making it happen. Chad Coleman, the 95 A-Shock. Shoes machine. The A-Shock machine trying to run this thing into the ground. Adrenaline shock, as it's called. Making a good use of it over Philip Schmitz and that Bobby Labonte styled up scheme for an 18 camp. I always love to look at that Interstate Batteries machine, man. That thing is just electrified. It's always got that awesome little look to it. I love it. Galantani right now moved into 17th. Charles Van Scheidt currently in 18th and 19th. Sammy Orell, Christoph Hall rounding out the top 20. That is where we lie at the moment. The rest of the field currently just trying to stay to their guns and stick to their momentum. Closing on laps here. We are down to the final 4 laps before stage break number 2 comes to an end. Let's take a look at our lap times here, and you can just see this is what I was talking about earlier, guys. This is how treacherous and how difficult it is to get a run on the late half with Texas. You just cannot get it to go. It is so difficult because the way the tires wear, the way the trucks wear, the way everything comes down the line, comes down to its spot, it just becomes so much more intensified and troublesome to work with. And you can see again, there is no advantages or no extra grip. Kelly trying to get it to work, but you can see there's just nothing there. And he's trying too. You can see he's keeping the gap close. He's trying to build a little extra speed, but again, only 0.004 of a second and 0.16 of a second. It's not going to do you much good when you got a guy that's 0.5 ahead of you with only 2 laps to go. I predict, though, and I have a feeling that Dalton will have his hands full on the next restart. Drivers may be paying close attention to it, so we'll see. One more lap to go, though, for Tyler Dalton. Fuel run has been the thing that's plagued Dalton on many wins. The tire run has been the thing that's plagued other drivers from taking him down. What will it be tonight? Will it be tire strategy or will it be fuel strategy? That becomes the main factor to success here at Texas off of turn number 4. Yellow flag coming out. It's going to be stage number 2's win for Tyler Dalton. Tyler Dalton gets stage number 2 wrapped up in the books in a very big way. All other drivers right now have to make a choice and make the decisions well known. We got 24 drivers on the lead lap right now. Meanwhile, everybody 25th on back, either out or severely damaged and severely lapsed down. Race fans, I'll ask you right now in the comments section, who do you think is going to be able to win this one out? We've seen what Dalton can do. We've seen what Kelly's trying to do. We know some of the fan favorites like Sammy Horrell are desperate to get that truck cleaned up just enough to maybe make one last fight at it. Calatani had promised things run, but he had no give and no grip in that one. He'll need to use some tires and get some field in. From pit road, it will be Dalton, Kelly, Simley, Ritter, Ramsdell, McMillan Jr., Sturgill, Shearer, King, and Wood. Top 10 from pit road. That set in mind, that set in motion. This should get interesting. Alright, race fans, here we go. We have got 50 laps to the distance now. Double file these drivers back up into the speeds and the positions. They have now succeeded in terms of a tire run, but now they've got to learn how fuel mileage run works for them. Honestly, if I am any of these drivers too, I think I may be looking at just taking so much of the fuel and so much of a tire set in order to make the best out of my situation. Dusty Burkhardt going to be late to the party here as he gets it back out for the 24th spot. 69 truck getting out of pit road now. Looks like maybe just wasn't quite up to par and up to the spot he was looking to be there. Ladies and gentlemen, for corner number 4, it is 50 laps remaining in this race. Who will be able to take this one home and find the rest of the speed? Just about to get down to it. Green flag is out. And caution already looking to be a thing here. We got trouble out of the gate. Multiple drivers trapped in a little bit of a shot spot there. They're going to stay green. Cody DeForest, John McMillan Sr., and Casey Duncan involved in it. They'll stay green and let them run it. Justin Reynolds comes onto the board. He has joined us here for the first time this season. In the comment section, he says, "Let's go, Bud Shearer." James Skinner says, "84 Calatani." Great to hear every single one of you guys out there on the track and on the speed here. Shannon Woods 02 right now holding his line down. Chad Coleman trying to punch his gas up and put the pedal into that metal. Ernest King and 25 Wrangler also right into the mix and into the fight. Every driver for themselves here. Onboard camera, Jeff Ramsdale, as you see Bud Shearer trying to maneuver the outside line a little bit over Ramsdale. Ramsdale, though, currently keeping his pace up. Gonzalez right in there as well. If you are watching this as well, race fans, you may notice that we also have had a little bit of an iRacing update on our end today. So, for those that, hold on, a little bit of a bump there. Ramsdale taking a good little chunk there from Gonzalez. Gonzalez going to look to the inside, make us run for it. Ramsdale trying to block him for that. Not quite going to get a lot of help there, my friend. Jack Coleman sneaks away on the outside. Gonzalez makes his way ahead of Ramsdale. Now Ramsdale got to try to make some speed back there. Say what you want. To me, that was a clean bump and run. They put fenders on these trucks and they put bumpers on these trucks as much as they do cars for a reason. It was a clean move. It may have been a little dirty to some, but I mean, that was just a good old bump and run. So to me, it's a clean move. Anyway, right now, I was just to say we have a bit of an update where we have some new cars, some new things added on. Of course, the biggest one. Whoa, hold on a minute. Duncan, way off pace, slows down Dalton and Kelly. About intervening right there with him, gonna take him for a better ride. I was saying, yeah, the late model stock cars are now fully updated and now have a little bit of a new thing to them. We got 2 new cars added on to the service as well, and just more of a variety and a mix as it goes, to say the least. So many cool things added on to the scene, so many cool things keep on coming with us here on the broadcasting channels to the racing channels. I will say this, and I'll make the call out now, race fans. If anybody out there has a late model stock car league they want to broadcast or they want to race broadcast it, let us know. Side by side right now, Maurice Burnett, the number 8, A-Shock right now. Kenny keeps fighting him out a little bit here with the 11 of Ron Holyfield. Holyfield right now trying to keep himself underneath the Hardy's 11. And EJ Orr currently blocking all their runs here as well in the same kind of situation. I think it's got to be like one of the toughest deals to deal with right now if you're in the Maurice Burnett camp, because you know you got a bit of speed, you got a little bit of drive, but Texas is not really the kind of track that really showcases, really gives you the opportunity to use it. When you're dealing with a 550 horsepower package too, like these truck series are working with, they don't exactly just cut through the air, kind of cut through the speed. They're aerodynamically important and dependable. So really, all hinders on controlling the line, controlling the spot. Once you're in that race lead too, it makes it a lot easier to kind of keep everything back in the back of your pocket and not have to worry about what's in front of you, because everything is behind you. Right, the only thing you worry about is just making sure you keep cornering, you keep turning, and then you just keep on making your moves. Anthony M. Calatani doing that. If he gets around there, he's getting into 25. I think if Kane can finish right where he's at right now in that top 15, I think he'll be a happy man, considering what he mentioned on the comments, hoping for a good race. Certainly got it good there. Coming right around, Sturgill starting to slow up a bit here and getting himself into a bit of a tricky little spot. Galatani making a nice inside scoop there off Sturgill, gets it right underneath, takes control as Ernest King now moves his way in, and again you can see even the right front's starting to really wear and tear as Cody Sturgill gets it right into the wall protection, but no harm or foul. Truck is okay to continue. Just not a spot you want to find yourself in at any point in this race. It's really driving so hard that the truck just keeps scooting up on you and then goes to the outside wall. Again, as a driver, it's frustrating, it's demoralizing as well, because it's like you're just looking at yourself like, man, what am I doing wrong, and why is this truck continuing to bounce up into that wall like that? That's the hard part about being any kind of professional sport, kind of professional ordeal, is literally these situations, and that certainly is one of them. Racketeering their way off on the back straightaway here. Every driver for himself here. As Charles Van Schaik looks like he might be making a bit of a return to the back of the pack and into the front here. 16 spots up. He is definitely a hard charger today. Started right now with Phil Schmitz is the ultimate hard charger here. As Schmitz currently about 3 spots back of him. But it looks like Van Schaik might be changing that all of a sudden here. Shannon Wood, 0-2. Slowing up the pace, giving himself a little bit of a breathing room here. Entering into corner number 3, it is Van Schijk, 23, DoorDash, jumping it right on ahead. And it looks like a little bit of problems down there for Dusty Burkhardt here as the 69 is coming to a bit of a slowdown, crawling his way back from the outhouse. Was charging for a little bit of a trip to the White House, but had nothing for him there. Ron Holyfield now trying to get a little bit of a run there on Maurice Burnett. Certainly will indeed. Holyfield making some great strides, some great runs throughout this season, but now has to try to figure out how to kind of keep his distance, kind of keep his speed up to the par and up to the tip top of shapes here. Dalton right now trying to get the draft off from Mike Kelly here. Kelly trying to draft in there with him, but you can see Dalton pressure looming and keeping him up to par and under control. Scott Simley also looking at that overall strategy, overall predicament he's in, may be looking at making a different kind of maneuvering here. John McMillan Jr. right now currently right on the cups, right on the charge. Steve Ritter in the 87. Working it right on around here. There goes McMillan Jr. though. Looks like he wants to try to make or break his day. He's looking at a top 5 and now he's looking for even more spots. He's making a great charge here, but now he's got Chad Coleman coming up right behind him. It is just an every man, every driver spot for themselves in this field. So much encompassing craziness mixed in between. A little draw back and fire there as you saw Coleman try to linger the draft up. 3 wide just for a second there. McMillan Jr. managing his control of the truck. Great move by McMillan Jr. Ritter, the 87 right now, just keeping his patience, keeping his control on the track. Everybody right now looking so far and so in between, just for any kind of help or any kind of run they possibly can get here. Tyler Dalton and Mike Kelly, as well as Scott Simley and all of them wingering around back from the field and back into the packs here. 84 now about to turn to 85 laps of 110 completed. 26 laps remain. And again, we haven't seen anybody really go into pit road in terms of green flag runs. So this really kind of now hinders down to when is going to be their pit stop. We've seen them go the full 22 laps, then we saw them do the full distance for the 55 for the rest of that. Now they got to kind of figure out when and where to make their run and trying to hold down the charge. Field starting to string around and kind of separate themselves out a little bit. Pressure is on. You gotta believe timing as well. That's a big one too. We talk about it constantly, and that timing of each lap, each cornering, each turn, making for such a intrepidly difficult spot to find yourself in. Looking around at the field right now too, you can see the draft in the field starting to just absolutely shift more and more. J. Oric, 341 right now, laying black behind Anthony M. Calatani. Calatani moving it now from 9 to 7. As McMillan Jr., Bud Shearer, and Cody Sturgill have now entered into pit road. The Wild man, Alan Wild, stays on out for a little longer. You know, I'm not completely sure when Dalton or Kelly plan to go to pit road, but I guarantee you they're going to have to here. Because they're not going to have, they're right now, with how many laps they have left, that's how many laps they would have had a ran for their stage breaks, and they had to end up going to pit road anyway, so that tells me they did not have enough to run this gauntlet out. And pit stops for Coleman, Dalton, Calatani, King, and Oric, Wood, Ron Holyfield, and Burnett. So pit stops now for Simley, Kelly, Ritter, and Dalton. They all have entered into pit road, and they are now exiting out of the road, except for Dalton. He's already made his way out on the track. Calatani trying to hunt him down, as well as Jeff Ramsdale trying to make a move off here. Gonzalez, Kelly, and Simley, Ritter, and Wild are all on pit road. John McMillan Jr. now up to the front. And McMillan Jr. went into pit road about 3 laps sooner. Or two laps sooner, excuse me, than Tyler Dalton. So now this is going to be a testament of Dalton's speed and power now having to be used on fresher tires to get around to McMillan Jr. McMillan, though, right now, man, this is the driver's seat he wants to be in. This is his opportunity, a golden opportunity here, to say the least. Dalton came and coming up pretty quickly though. McMillan Jr. well aware of that. You can see the power and speed of that 19 definitely starting to rear its ugly head on that 83 camp. This is the best race right now McMillan Jr. has had all season round, and he's trying to finally put it all together. If he can hold off Dalton, he can hold off the rest of the field, but Dalton is starting to increasing the spot and starting to close the gap. Looking at the overall situation, he knows he's got his hands and his work cut out for him. Dalton looking to the inside, looking to try to slice him and dice it. Yes, he will. He got the jump to the inside. You saw the 83 had to drive a little wide there. Dalton charges it right up. Big run on the back straightaway, and now a drafter right there for that 19 to grip off of. McMillan Jr.'s got no choice. Well, good effort, but just unfortunately, speed and power will do that to you. And he just kind of got encased in and cuffed in that one. Calatani with Gonzalez and Shearer now dealing with the pressure. 3 wide for turn 1. Galatani, look at him trying to cross it in. Will it go 3 wide? No, he can't get it to go there a little bit. That speed wasn't quite coming off that exit. You turn it in that much, there's no run for that. There is no room for it. And that rear end's starting to kick out of it. He's got to be careful. Gonzalez feeling the same pressure though. Saw the rear end slightly bulge off of the apex there at turn number 2, or 4, excuse me. And that is exactly what happens when power and speed gets mixed in between. Right now, another 3 truck battle. Look at Simley trying to cross and slice and dice the middle. No room though for it. Mike Kelly, Jeff Ramsdell, both of them moving ahead. Simley now trying to cross over 97 of Ramsdell. Got him on the inside around there off turn number 4. Great jump on the Mobile 1.7, and Simley again using the raw power with that RPM as high as can be. Managing to keep the momentum up and uses it to his advantage. What absolute raw power and display of consistency these drivers are using on one another. Again, only one major wreck happening today, which, considering what we saw at Martinsville, nothing can top that pile up. And yes, that is the actual photo we used for our YouTube thumbnail. If you are looking at that and trying to look back for the broadcast, don't worry, you'll know which one it is. It is probably our greatest YouTube thumbnail we've ever created for all the wrong reasons. I would say it's our best YouTube video we got out there, honestly, though. I would say probably our best one, at least endings-wise. Probably is that literally straight down to less than a 10,000 a second finish between the IROC Challenge drivers on the oval of Kentucky. That was actually showcased by iRacing as a little call that they did, a little kind of supportive thing to our drivers as well as us. So we can't thank iRacing enough for sharing that little video clip and actually having my voice in that. It was kind of weird to see, kind of weird to hear my own words be used in that, but hey, I'll take it. Speaking of using old troubles and words, looks like something's going wrong. I heard some smoke coming down off the corners, and that might be why. Look out, Gonzalez there. Oh my. Jose Gonzalez is in down across the inside pit road. He was trying to get out of there quickly before something major kind of happened on his end, but a catastrophe spinning himself out. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, I take it back. He didn't spin himself out. I think we can guess what happened here. There's a clip. Oh yeah, there it is. Ritter clips him there, and oh gosh, huge hit. That was a spin. I was trying to see like what was going on down there. I couldn't quite figure out which driver was getting the spin there or getting the tag, and unfortunately we found out it was Gonzalez and Ritter getting into it. See right here, Ritter just caved in the 26. Gonzalez had nowhere to go. There's the caution flying right on out, trying to immediately get them stopped and parked off. Gonzalez driving to the bottom lane, trying to get out of there, and you can see he just came to a deadlock stop. Of course, Burkhardt got around him there. And what a tough break there from Gonzalez, and I guarantee you, I can't be a happy camper there with one driver, if you know what we mean. Coleman going into pit road, or Calatani, Shike, Sturgill, Hall, Jackson, Gonzalez, and Wild to pit road. And you're probably wondering at home right now, why are they heading into pit road? Well, 2 words: fresh tires. If you got a fresh set of tires right now, oh boy, I would not want to be up front with the burnt heads we've got. And there is just enough laps to use that to their advantage. Now, again though, we got to look at the overall situation. Here right now, we just got out of pit road. Coleman, Oric, Sturgill, Calatani, Shike, and Harrell. They all were starting from 14th on back. Or 13th on back, whichever the number may be. I think it's 13th here. Coleman, yeah, there he is, coming down off track here. So Those drivers right now are locked and loaded with fresh sets. Think of it as like having a brand new pair of shoes that have spikes on them versus an old worn tore pair of shoes with no spikes and nothing on them for cleats wise to grip on ice. Now you see where we're going with this. That is what these drivers right now up front are going to be facing up against. Dalton well aware of it and knows these restarts are going to be tough, so he's got to time out a great start here. He's going to have to find a way to hold McMillan Jr. and Mike Kelly back because they both will be looking to try to take over that spot, and without anything left to lose. There is so much on the line here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they put everything to the pedal into that metal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 6 laps left to go this time on by. Opportunity to be extremely important here, and these drivers are well aware of that. Get the drivers on the fresh sets, get ahead of the pack. That's going to be one mean rack stack on the attack off of turn number 4. This time on by, we lead them back to the green. Top 5 on your screen. This could get interesting. Here we go. You can see already the drivers that are on fresh sets, they're maneuvering through. There's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, especially when you got guys coming for your spots. Dalton and McMillan Jr. right now trying to stay in control to get to Dalton. Kelly right now right behind trying to push McMillan Jr. either into him or out of the way, whichever one comes first in his mind, I bet ya. Kelly got him on the inside. Now the drive off. Deep into the corner, deep in the run, Simley behind. McMillan Jr. falling back just a little bit. Opportunities running low, 4 laps to go. They've got to get a little bit more power up to Dalton if they want him there. Look at Mike Kelly as the TSN Service 6 is now looking closer than ever to catching Dalton. But again, they have one big glaring issue, and that is that speed. EJ Orsk got kicked up right now, and he's not making friends down there. He sends it into Ramsdell. Ramsdell getting backed up into a corner. Here comes Caltani getting right between. He shoots the gap. Right through, drivers trying to stay in the green. Stay in the green and out of the other green, right through the field. They start them off, and they have startled a little bit, but they're okay. Caltani, though, man, talk about making a major move there. And EJ Oric gets up Asa McMillan Jr. Oric is not going to exactly be getting a lot of love from drivers this season. Caltani making a jump up ahead to the fifth spot. Now trying to draft it off of Sure to get a run off of him, but it has so far been the back and forth affair of everyone else behind the front. 2 laps to go. You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess, in racing, and I know it's racing sometimes, but I don't know if I agree with this. 4 wide on the back to the turn 3. Christoph Hall literally jumping it right ahead. They're still 3 wide. White flag in the air. Tyler Dawn and Mike Kelly gonna go at it. They somehow stay green as they're gonna start wrecking them a little bit. Hit the wall a little bit there. They kept it green though. Mike Kelly trying to hunt. He's trying to fight. He's got him on the inside. No, he doesn't. He's got to get the Dalton again. Trying to give him the bumper. Can he catch him off of 4? It doesn't appear to be. Through 3 to 4. Tyler Dalton will win it at Texas. Kelly will go second. Simley goes third. Caltani fourth. EJ Oric fifth. And an absolutely wild, wild final lap shootout with all other drivers involved. Some even going to the well and throwing it 4 wide and a hold it down. Even on the front stretch for a 3 wide scenario. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. And another dominating victory by a Sim 500 Series driver. Tyler Dalton once again punts himself into victory lane. And he uses all he needed to and then some to keep this thing under control. What a race. What a performance. Tyler Dalton's going to win this one out by the edge of his teeth. Mike Kelly yet again is going to take it home second. Through everything he had at Dalton wasn't enough. Simley once more proving his worth. Goes third. Caltani, man, strategy almost pays off. Takes fresh sets and sends it. Goes fourth. EJ Oric, I mean, say what you will about him, but I mean, he got aggressive and he made his moves. He'll take a top 5. That's how you got to, if you got to do what you got to do, that's sometimes the way to go. Steve Ritter, though, man, consistency pays off. 6th spot for him. Chad Coleman, once again, another 7th spot. Top 10 once more for Charles Van Schaik. Christoph Hall, a good top 10 after the rough patches of races he's had. And Shannon Wood will bring it home for top 10 today. All right, race fans, the time has come now. Let's listen to your top 3 drivers. This should be an interesting one. We'll talk to your top 3 here. 3rd place today, ladies and gentlemen, in the number 7. Scott Simley returns it back into the top spot today in the podium. And Simley, my friend, this has been a battle of attrition and consistency. But once more, sir, you find yourself in a good spot and ending it out in 3rd. How did it feel today?
Yeah, it felt good. I was a little scared of that last caution because we were out of tires, the strategy we played. But I was hoping to get some stage points on that first stage. I didn't. Got stage points second, and hate leaving a set in the pits when you don't use them. But and having that caution come on, I knew there was, I think 8 behind us. They had fresh, so I was hoping that there wasn't enough lap left where they were able to catch. But had to do a little block at the end there to block Calantoni, but I'm glad he raced me clean. And yeah, come out of a top three with this. We'll take that.
Top three indeed. I mean, racing it clean from point A to point B. I know there was a probably behind you though. It's probably what you were really wanting to avoid, not to deal with there. I know the pressure was on from the bit of the racing you guys had to endure. So, with the way these tires fell and how hard it was to get around the corners, how difficult was it just to even try to throw some blocks, much less keep this thing under control?
It wasn't bad. If anything, it's pretty snug. I saw Tyler. He was leading, but being in fresh air, it seemed like he looked like he was a little bit tail loose, maybe. I wasn't feeling that, but obviously I was probably in a little more dirty air than him. So, if anything, I was snug. I wasn't feeling loose at all. So,
Well, I mean, it was holding on at least for this one today. So, nevertheless, though, I mean, I gotta ask you, sir, who do you want to thank you for this one?
well, Sim 500 for you know able working with the Goat League and Race City Motorsports for obviously supporting the series, and you guys PTM for broadcasting, and hopefully everybody out there enjoyed it. And um, yeah, we needed a good finish again tonight to stay up there in the points and try to contend for a championship. It'd be great.
Well, it looks like you're gonna get that and a little bit of help from this point on out. Stanley, congratulations getting this third place today.
Yeah, I gotta also thank uh, my team, Steve and Mike. We kind of bounce ideas off each other on what the best way to do is, and well, so, it's always good to have their support and bounce some ideas off and see what maybe the best route is every race. So yeah, thanks to those guys, internal heroes, and yeah.
For sure there. All right. Well, Assembly Man, once more, great podium today. Congratulations on that, sir.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Dalton, or excuse me, Scott Simley. Sorry about that. Gonna take it for third. Dalton was your winner there. We'll talk to him in just a second. I apologize to Simley for jumping that line in. But nevertheless, here is your second place finisher today, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Kelly coming in here once more. And Mike, man, I don't know how many more times you're gonna get this podium and get a second in today, brother. You are so close, so fast, and just not enough time or not enough tire. What was it for you today in your mind?
Like the one you left out, not enough speed. But no, I'll take it. I mean, he kind of gave me a shot there. He got a little tight through 3 and 4, coming for the white flag, and I was kind of just thinking, well, I'll just ride it out. Once I got around McMillan there, I thought, well, I'm happy with the second. I had good stage runs, and coming through 3 and 4 there, he tightened up, and I got up to his rear, and I'm like, oh man, I might have to make a make a move here, and then almost got underneath him going down the back stretch. Needed a little bit more, but I was just far. He just cleared me enough to run that arc into 3 and 4 there, where there's no way you're going to pass nobody going through there. But it was a great race. Scotty there in the turn one heroes getting third. We got two on the podium, and then not sure what Steve ended up. He had a good run going too. So good night for all of us. Good race. A lot of fun. Ran up front all night and came home with a good finish.
I said in the as you were saying about that, you couldn't catch him on the inside. I even said in the broadcast, I'm like, if he can find a way to actually get a way in to get his back bumper, I think you might actually have something for him to give him a little tag to get this chance.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. But truthfully, it's a long season, and sometimes that backfires and you spin yourself out. So I'm really not the kind of guy who does that type of stuff. But if he would have left a hole, I definitely would have stuck my truck in there and uh, seen what the outcome was. It's better to apologize later than ask for permission, right?
Well, I mean, it depends on who you ask. I've had my fair share done to me more than I do to anyone else, like you've said. So, Kelly,
Second's better than 20th, that's for sure.
that is for sure. All right. Well, Kelly, nevertheless, though, a second place today here. Who do you want to thank here today for this one here in Texas?
Thanks to Race City Motorsports for sponsoring this GOAT series on PTM Racing TV. Fun coverage. Always a good time to go back and watch it. The admins here doing a good job getting this series going with big fields and some competitive racing. And shout out to everyone at Turn One Heroes and everyone at Sim 500 and all the sponsors here that helped us go round. And as always, hopefully it's going to be for the win. But special thanks to the Smoking Hot Wife for letting me do this weekly.
I think eventually, Kelly, that one's got to come here, brother. But nevertheless, congratulations here on the second today.
Thanks a lot.
Mike,
Appreciate it.
all right, Mike Kelly, ladies and gentlemen, going to take it home today for second. And as usual, he comes back to victory lane. He just doesn't seem to stay away, does he, ladies and gentlemen? Dalton wins it here on the show again. And Dalton, you obviously have kind of embarked on this journey from the first win in the Next Gen Cup Series, then to the win in the Truck Series like a week and a half later. Now I think you've got like 2 or 3 wins to your name. Do you just have like an off switch or a button that just stops you from winning these things out, or you just have like this mindset to just drive and win everything you can get your hands on?
Well, I think that's what everyone's trying to do is go out there and win as much as they can. But a lot of times, luck actually hadn't gone our way. I actually thought we were in trouble there when that caution came out at the end, and quite a few still had tires. And we were out there on old tires, and I knew I'd pitted a lap before Mike. That let Mike get pretty darn close there. Surprisingly, it was actually 3 and 4 where we were both wide open, where he was able to carry more speed than I was. But few more laps might have been in trouble. But tonight was definitely a race about clean air. So I drove it pretty hard early on. Was able to get up there and get by Macklin, and then was just able to pretty much maintain where I was at throughout the race, and was just hoping it was going to stay green.
Stay agree indeed, but nevertheless, a lot of pressure on what was going down, a lot of work to do. It sounds like some drivers thought you were getting that truck a little bit looser off the exits and on the corners there than others were. I mean, for you in your mind, I mean, how tough was it to keep this thing on point and in control with the way this race was turning out to be?
Big thing was just not to overdrive turn one and to get a good X off of two. And then 3 and 4 late in the run would definitely start to get a little bit loose on entry. So right about the time that we was wanting to pit would be when it would start to get loose. So that's what it worked out. Running this series here with the Goat Racing League definitely is mixed things up for me a little bit. I'm not used to all the stage racing and the low fuel, so still trying to get all that figured out, running with the tire limits. But it's actually worked out pretty good for me tonight, at least tonight, and some of the previous races, because normally, especially if it's tight, I'm not the best at saving tires, and you can go a little bit harder when you know that you have a caution coming up in so many laps. So.
For sure. Well, nevertheless, Dalton, man, this was a long, long road to this one. I mean, at the end of the day, sir, you're going to take an open under win. Who do you want to thank you for that today?
Just want to thank the Goat Racing League and City Sports Memorabilia for sponsoring the series. Want to thank all my Sim 500 Mafia teammates. We had Shannon, Ron, and John down there racing with us tonight. I had a bunch of fun. Want to thank Mike Kelly for racing me clean there. Just want to thank y'all for putting on the broadcast, and hopefully we'll come back Thursday and we'll see what we can do then.
For sure. Dalton, man, congratulations winning another one out today, sir.
Thank you.
Dalton, ladies and gentlemen, another trip, another claim to victory lane. Well, race fans, we sign off tonight here. There is one last piece of matter I do want to bring to you guys. I know this is iRacing and all that, but I have gotten word that from NASCAR Heat servers and series that they are shutting down those servers and all that. I know you probably do not care to hear about anything NASCAR Heat related, especially here on PC and not console, but hear me out. I just want to say to NASCAR Heat 4 and 5, thank you for all the memories and allowing me to not only have a chance to race and go for my first season championship, but also it was where we were created. It was where P10 Race TV was created from. So we had broadcast a little on Heat 4 and Heat 5 later on, but we have not done it obviously in quite some time. And to hear that now the servers are going down, I just wanted to send my farewell, my fair wishes to them, and for all the memories we have and everyone that still was playing that for the time that they did, my heart goes out to you guys. But it is so surreal to know that we have the thing that created Pizza Race TV didn't make it as big as it is. Obviously, iRacing did that, but it did get us started, and it got my career started as well as a broadcaster. So I salute you, NASCAR Heat 4 and 5. I bid you farewell, and I really don't know what else I can say, guys. It's just kind of so surreal to know that we are kind of human, and now we have to let go of things and say goodbye. But thankfully, we have plenty of chapters to go. We'll never die around here. Not on my watch, not when I'm around. So, PTA Race TV, thanks and appreciates every single one of you for tuning in from the Heat 4 and Heat 5 days to iRacing. We bid you farewell. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Go Racing League, and the Race City Sports Memorabilia for tuning on in. We'll see you guys next time when the green flag flies.